Welcome, ballers, babes who love box scores, and bench warmers. This is Femme Playbook, the only sports podcast that covers triple doubles and thirst traps. I'm Liv, your host, coach, and unapologetically queer commentator with big opinions and an even bigger crush on Paige Buckers. Hey, how y'all doing? I know you can't respond to me, but that's okay, I guess. So, I'm literally so excited about today because, actually, first of all, let me say this. I am literally so exhausted right now. I look like Goob from what's it called? Meet the Robinsons? Yeah. If you don't know what he looks like, look it up because that's what I look like right now. I look like John Mulaney after he went to rehab. I look horrible right now. This is what makes me grateful that this is not a visual podcast because I literally look like holy ratchet. I look actually ridiculous right now. So I just had to say, I'm trying to bring the energy up. I'm trying to bring the noise, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just a sleepy girl. So my apologies about that. So, but I am excited about this episode, so that makes it a little bit easier because then I am excited about what I'm talking about. So, yeah, I'll tell you what we're talking about. I was going to tell you now, but I'm going to wait a minute. So, if y'all don't watch the PWHL, you should, first of all, because it's so much fun, and it's literally, the coolest thing ever. But they had their first games last week of their third season. And so, sorry, I had a Chick-fil-A, so, I might, burp. Dude, I'm so ratchet right now. I'm so sorry. But they had their, first games last week that weren't, preseason. So excited. I can finally start watching hockey again because, I could watch the NHL and, I do. I'll, listen to the game sometimes and I, watch, game recaps. But, it's just not as fun. I'm being so sincere when I say that. I enjoy the PWHL more than the NHL, and I think I've made that incredibly obvious. I think I probably have brought it up every single episode that I like watching women's sports more than male sports. Oopsie poopsie. I said that last time, bro. I might have to cut that out. That was gross. I hate when I say stuff like that. Okay, anyway. But yeah, PWHL started up again. I watched a little snippet of the Sirens and Charge game because I wanted to watch my baby Gwen Phillips. She's the cutest goalie ever, probably one of the best in the league, and she's just adorable. I love her so much. She's such a chitty chatty girl, and I just like her a lot. So Ottawa Sirens game, Ottawa and New York, whatever, yada yada. I watched a tiny little bit of that, and then I stopped, and then I watched the GoldenEye and Torrent game. I rewatched it when they reposted it because they posted it on YouTube. Thank you. So you don't have to pay for some stupid streaming platform like you do in the NHL. Mind you, that's literally I think my least favorite thing about the NHL is that it is impossible to watch. Especially the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks games, I can never watch it without paying $1 million to watch it, and that's so annoying and stupid. Please just let me watch hockey. I usually just have to listen, which is fine. It's like listening to a podcast, you know, I do that a lot too. So I listen to the games for the NHL, but for the PWHL, you literally can watch them live on YouTube. It's so cool. So I'd much rather do that than pay. And then they also usually 1 or 2 days after the games, they'll put them up on YouTube. So I watched the GoldenEye, the new teams, Vancouver GoldenEyes and the Seattle Torrent. Yeah, Seattle. Which can I say for a sec? If you don't know what the Seattle Torrent logo looks like, it looks like toothpaste. And I was told not to shame that because they worked really hard on it, which is true, kudos. But, it looks like toothpaste, unfortunately. But it's okay because Hillary Knight's on that team, so, they're fine, you know? But I watched that game. I watched, the one that they posted. I didn't watch it live. But yeah, I watched the first little bit of the Sirens Ottawa game. That was a good game. Kind of a blowout. It was a shutout. Wait, who won? Not a good night for Gwenny. It was 4-0. So, sorry, Gwenners. Not a good night for you, sweetheart. But that's okay because, it probably had a lot more to do with than just her. But we tend to blame goalies. Yeah, we do. But a couple notable things. I think my favorite thing that happened was, I believe it was the Victoire, and was it Minnesota? Maybe Minnesota or Boston. Laura Stacy and Marie-Philippe Poulin ended up in the penalty box together. And I love that. I love that so much because they're just so cute. I love them. So I thought that was funny. I don't even know what the penalty was. Like, let me look it up. Because they're, like, both pretty rowdy, I feel. Laura Stacy, MPP penalty. Okay, well, that did not give me the search that I wanted. So maybe I should put her full name. Poulin. Penalty box. Let's look it up. Okay, well, what the heck? It's not even showing me. I need to just, like, literally see the ref. Like, please. Okay, sick. I just want to watch the penalty, please. Please, for the love. Okay, well, I guess, like, it never happened because YouTube and Google is giving me nothing right now. But they were in the penalty box together. I'll figure out for what it was. I'll find a way. But most notable thing was rookie Maddie Wheeler for the Sirens assisted all 3 goals, recording the most in a PWHL debut in history of a PWHL debut. And the Sirens beat Ottawa 4-0, which is really unfortunate. R.I.P. R.I.P. Gwenny Phillips. I bet that upset her because girl gets upset. If you watched the last the finals last year, the Walter Cup Championship, it was horrible because Gwyneth Phillips, they lost. Ottawa lost to Minnesota, and Gwyneth Phillips, like, she won MVP and, like, looked very angry while winning it because they, like, awarded it to her, like, minutes after they lost the Walter Cup, which is horrible. Mind you, lost the Walter Cup to a team that had won back-to-back, so it was, like, even worse. But yeah, poor Gwenny. I love her. But I'm telling you, best goalie in the league. She's great. But yeah, that's all with the PWHL. I didn't anticipate talking about it for that long, but gotta love it. So this week, I'm like, it's before break. I'm gonna treat myself. Like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. This week we're doing only about Paige Buckets. I'm only talking about Paige Buckets in this video. Maybe some AZ Flood. Probably some AZ Flood. But we're only gonna be talking about Paige Buckets in this video because that's my girl. You know, like, that's my shawty. I know a lot about Paige Buckets. Like, I pride myself in my knowledge about Paige Buckets, but oh my gosh, I did not know this much until I started, like, researching for what I was going to talk about, which I initially was going to, like, kind of try to narrow down the topic, but I settled for just her career, like, her basketball career. Good God, her, like, stat line, going through her stat line for, like, each year of her life that she has been playing basketball on, like, a more viewed level, so, like, AAU, that kind of thing, when she started playing for Hopkins, whatever. She's a beast. Like, I mean, the awards go to show how insane she is. She gained traction. I don't think she gained enough, like, media traction. I think she should have got more media traction, like, earlier on, because her stats are, like, actually insane. I kept, like, the more I read, the more I was like, she's not real. She is literally not real. She's just crazy. Every time that I, like, know that a basketball player is this good, I'm like, man, my parents should have forced me to, like, be good at sports. Like, they should have, like, made me, like, be good, you know? Like, they shouldn't have been like, oh, like, let's go to softball practice. They should have been like, wake up at 6 a.m., drills till lunch, da-da-da. Like, I could have been in the pros by now, you know? For every sport. I played basketball. I could have been the Paige Buckets of my youth. Was I? Absolutely not. There was a reason I was on the bench. I was a good cheerleader. I was a great cheerleader. And that's what I ended up doing. But, like, I could have been a little sports prodigy by now. And here I am at UIC radio talking about him instead, which, like, mad respect. But, like, man, I could have been Paige Buckers. The Paige Buckers of the class of 2025. You know what I'm saying? I could have, but I'm not. So anyway, she started playing basketball at 5, which, wait, guys, I have, like, so much, like, notes that it's literally ridiculous. I organized my notes, trust. But, like, still, she started playing when she was 5, but the thing that gets me is that her dad played high school basketball. Like, that's all he did. Like, that's where his career ended. Which, like, granted, you could play high school basketball and be good enough to go D1 and decide to focus on academics instead. Like, I've known people who've done that. But if he's good as his daughter is, then he should have been, you know, like, playing in the NBA. But I don't know. I've never watched him play basketball before. I just know he coaches. But he's a software engineer, so good for him. But her mom represented University of St. Thomas in cross country and track and field. So she's got that too. She's got that in her genes. At least her mom played at the collegiate level, which is sick. But, like, usually, like, when your kid is this much of a prodigy, you had your part in those genes, you know? Like, AZ Fudd, her dad and her mom both played collegiate basketball. Her mom played in the pros, in the W, for a team that no longer exists. I don't remember what team it was. Was it the Monarchs? I think it was the Monarchs. Or was it Sting? I don't remember. Her mom played W. But, like, usually when your kid's, like, that insane, like, the parents had some play in those genes, you know? Like, every athlete that I know, their parents are also athletes. Like, they're just good athletes. So, like, I question where she, like, just magically got... And, like, obviously she practiced a lot. She put her time towards it. But, like, where'd she get these basketball... I just want to know where she got these basketball genes, bro. Like, come on. But it's fine. Like, I guess I can move on from that. But she played... I remember... I was going to bring this up. I don't have it written down anywhere. But there was, like, this guy, like, put on Twitter... I think it was, like, Paige Buckers, 6th grade, remember this name, you're gonna see her, think Diana Taurasi. Like, that's what he said in the tweet, and it was a picture of Paige in, like, 5th or 6th grade, and she's, like, has braces and is, like, in her little basketball shorts. But the way that that's, like, could not be more accurate, because she quite literally is, like, Diana Taurasi retired and handed her the torch. Like, she is, like, just an absolute hold to the refs. Like, she... does what she wants, you know? And that's Diana Taurasi. Like, she just passed that torch right off to her. They did, I think I talked about this last week. They did, like, a golf episode. I guess Diana Taurasi has this, like, series that she does. But they are literally the same person. Like, they were just going back and forth, like, hating on each other. And I love it. But yeah, this guy, like, tweeted... Yeah, think Diana Taurasi, and that is exactly the player that she is. Like, there is definitely some key differences in how her and Diana play, but very much so, like, one of the best, if you, like, don't watch this new generation of the W, and you wanted to know how Paige Buckers played, I'd say, old generation, I'd say Diana Taurasi is most similar to Paige. But I thought that tweet was funny. She didn't start, like, actually, like, I say this, like, because all her playtime is notable, but it wasn't, like, till she was in 7th grade that she started to, like, really have stats, because when she was in 7th grade, she started playing for the Hopkins High School team. She played for the 10th grade and junior varsity her 7th grade year, which is literally, like, insane. Yeah, she played 10th grade and junior varsity games for Hopkins. She also played in 7th grade year-round for an AAU program and Nike Elite Youth Basketball League, which is, like, a big freaking deal. If you can hear... Can you hear my pump beeping? I can't tell. My pump's beeping. I need to change my pump. But, Nike Elite Youth Basketball, that's a big deal. Like, you gotta get scouted hella for that. So, you know what I was doing in 7th grade? I had back surgery in 7th grade. I was doing nothing. I was literally laying on the couch eating my jalapeno cheddar Cheetos, and Paige Buckets out here. I mean, how much older? She's 5 years older. She's 6 years older than me. So at that point, she would have been, like, balling it up at UConn. But, what was I doing in 7th grade? She's playing for the Nike League, and I'm over here, like, eating my Cheetos, you know? But again, we can't all be basketball prodigies. There can't be 2 basketball prodigies in the world, and if I would have kept playing, Paige Buckers would have had more competition, you know what I'm saying? Like, prayers to her. But, gosh, that's crazy in 7th grade. She joined the high school varsity team in 8th grade, averaging 8.9 points, 3.5 rebounds, 2.1 assists, and 1.4 steals per game. In 8th grade, she was 13. She led the team in three-pointers, and she was second in assists. Led the team. She was playing varsity high schoolers. Led the team. Hopkins is a good program. They have good players. They play tense teams. Like, Minnesota basketball don't come to play. Like, this was hard teams, you know? And Hopkins went 28-3 that year, and they got runner-up in state. Where, as a 13-year-old, Paige was named all-tournament. Like, put on the all-tournament team. What? What are you talking about? Like, wow. What was I doing when I was 13? Like, this could be me, but it's literally okay. Wow. That's crazy. It literally only gets crazier, too. Once you, like, get into her like, high school career and such, it only gets crazier. Let me find where I'm going here. Oh, she's such a beast, bro. And this is notable. While she was doing all these things in high school, making all these stats, doing all this crazy stuff, she was also playing in AAU teams, USA, girls team, you know, like 15U, 16U, 17U, while also playing for Hopkins and doing all this stuff. So I gotta pick up the slack or something, because this is making me feel a little lazy. But for her freshman debut, she recorded 28 points and 3 assists, winning 74-34 against Osesio Senior High School. Her freshman record was 20.8 points, 4.5 rebounds, 4.5 steals, and 4.1 assists. And yet again, Hopkins' record was 31-1, only to lose at state. And Paige, again, received all-tournament team her freshman year. I believe she broke some major records for individual players at Hopkins over the years numerous times. Freshman star, like, all that sort of thing. She's a beast, man. I can imagine being that good at something. Her sophomore year, she suffered an ankle injury, but still finished the season, averaging 22.3 points, 6.8 assists, 5.9 rebounds per game. She brought Hopkins to a 28-4 record, but suffered the 3rd straight loss at state, despite scoring 37 points in the championship game alone. 37 points. Bro. She's crazy! I'm glad I did this episode, because I've always, like, very much so admired her as a basketball player. I mean, I admire her, sorry, I couldn't hear my microphone for a second. Not only do I admire her looks, but I also very much so admire not only her sports and how good of an athlete she is, but she's also very smart. Good academics as well. She got like multiple like scholar honors as an athlete in college, which is crazy. I'm saying, guys, I told you I'm so sleepy. I'm saying a lot, aren't I? Like a lot. Oops. Her junior year, Paige had a career high game of 43 points. Career high. And her junior year, she hit 2,000 career points. Despite being ill and puking before the game started, sorry, graphic, she recorded 13 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, and 5 steals in the championship game. Her team won the state championship, and they finished with a perfect record. And that was the year she won Gatorade Player of the Year, and she was named AAU Player of the Year. Can you freaking imagine being that sick before a game and still coming out and winning that much? Ridiculous. But that's Paige Buckers, and she did it because she did girl. So, you know. Her senior year is kind of depressing, I won't lie. She became the first female high school player on the cover of Slam. Big deal. If you haven't, like, seen I'll probably put it on my Instagram. If you haven't seen, like, the Slam magazine cover shoot for Paige, it's so, like, high school Paige. It is so funny to me. She's wearing, like, gold Nike Dunks. And, like, this, like, the fit don't match. Her, like, she looks great, but, like, it is just so high school Paige. She's rocking, like, a side part. Like, let me find some pictures. All the outfits are, like, her and, like, denim on denim. Like, it's so funny. Paige Buckers Slam. She's done multiple, like, Slam covers since, but it's so funny. Yeah, she's wearing, like, the gold, I can't even tell what those are. Hello? I'm not a sneaker person, so, like, my bad. These are definitely not Nike shoes. I was wrong. But they're gold. She's got hair ties on her wrists in this photo shoot. Like, they didn't even care to take the hair ties off, which kind of kills me, but, heck yeah, boy. She's got the braid on the front like she used to do it. Oh, yeah. This is so sick. I need a t-shirt that's just like her high school Slam cover. Mind you, first ever high schooler on the Slam cover. And then she also got the pictures in the USA uniform, as she should, with her 3 gold medals. Oh, this is so... The thing about Paige Buckers is she's really a skinny girl. She's a tiny, skinny girl. For how much of an athlete she is... Is she a guard? I think she's point guard. For how much of an athlete she is really a tiny girl. She's 6 foot, but she, like, weighs the same as me. I'm not going to say how much I weigh, but, like, that's crazy. She's a skinny little girl. And I know that, like, Gino Oriema, who is the coach for the UConn women's basketball team, as well as her high school coach, I've mentioned on numerous occasions and in numerous interviews that she was, like, way too small. And I think that's so funny. To, like, actually say that is crazy. You'd expect that out of Gino. To be like, yeah, she's way too skinny. Like, she do not got enough meat on her bones. You would expect him to say that because he says some crazy stuff. But her high school coach, like, I feel like the more interviews I watch from him, I'm like, I can't believe he'd say that. Like, man, I really like her high school coach. I like he seems fun, like, in interviews. I don't know if you've ever seen, this is a sidetrack. I don't know if you've ever seen the video of, it was when Nika Mule was still on the team. She's crazy. And Paige and her were, like, running drills, and Gino goes, it's a good thing that Nika's 10 and you're 5 because you're half the defender she is. Which is, like, okay. Paige, like, doesn't have great defense. Okay. I say this like I am good at basketball. She has great defense, but it's not where it should be. But, like, mind you, she still has good defense. But Nika Mule, like, that's kind of her stuff. Like, this is also a sidetrack within the sidetrack. Nika Mule probably one of the best players to ever grace UConn because her playing is so beautiful. Like, she is just a pretty basketball player. I'm not talking looks, I'm talking technique. Like, she is a pretty basketball player. And she does not get nearly half the credit she deserves for how much she brought to the team. She plays for Seattle Storm. She played internationally, tore her ACL, recovered, obviously took a whole year off to recover from that, which was so upsetting because I wanted to see her and Paige play together again. Not together, but play on the same court again. Because, man, they were good. They were so fun to watch. That was they didn't win the championship, but that was a good year that Nika and her were playing on the same team. And, Nika just does not get half the credit she deserves. Technically one of the most beautiful, has the most beautiful game. I mean, like, currently AZ Fudd. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful technique. Very pretty basketball player. But, man, Nika deserves her flowers. And I really don't, think that she got them enough. She got, a lot of credit from fans for, how funny she is. But, where was the credit for how, literally awesome sauce she is, you know? So, give Nika Mule her flowers. If you're a UConn person and you don't know, and you, haven't paid that much attention to Nika Mule, I'm sure you have. If you're, a real UConn fan, you've paid attention to Nika. Give her flowers, because she's literally, she's so good. But, yeah, that was, such a sidetrack. But, man, she was good. Back to the slam cover. My favorite thing ever, I need a t-shirt with all her slam covers on it because all of them are, just cute in their own way. And she now has slam magazine covers in her 3 different uniforms, Hopkins, UConn, and Wings. And I was going to buy a t-shirt for the Wings one, and I just couldn't afford it. So, shout out to my mom if you need a Christmas present. If you're listening to this, Dina, please give me a slam t-shirt with Paige Buckers on it because I think they're so cute. But her senior year, I know that Slam, along with her cover, did multiple episodes of a docu-series on YouTube that's still up. I've watched it. That mainly covered her because it was her shoot, but also covered her whole basketball team and their dynamic and their road to the state championships and such. And it was such a fun documentary. I wasn't a Paige Buckers fan until probably her junior year at UConn. No, probably her sophomore year at UConn because she redshirted her junior year. Yeah, I'd say that. But I didn't get to watch her play in high school because I just wasn't at that point yet. I didn't really watch basketball. Especially women's college basketball. I was more into the male sports side of things, which is a travesty in of itself. But Hopkins was that dynamic, especially her senior year, so cool. And I wish that the players on that team, other than Paige, I wish we could have seen them go farther in college because I know a few of them played for college teams. I don't know if they were D1. There might have been a few D1 in there. But it was such a fun team, and that documentary was so good, and I'm probably going to watch it when I fall asleep tonight because it's so enjoyable to watch. But getting to my point, at the end of the documentary, it follows them to the state championships, and Paige they had won the championships her junior year, so her thing was I want to win the championships my senior year. The championships were, get this, on March 13th of 2020, which was the very first day of the pandemic shutdown. So their championship got canceled. And obviously COVID was no 2-week bender that we thought it would be. It was not the 2 weeks that we thought we were going to get off of school. So her state championship was foiled. And I don't know what team it was. It might say, I might have put it somewhere. In my notes, please hold. I want to say Wayzata. Oh, it doesn't say in my notes. How stupid. Let's look it up. Paige Bueckers championship game. Senior year. High school. It's gonna get confused and think I'm talking about who was it against? It's not telling me who it was against. I think I'm right. I think it was Wayzata. Oh, no. White Bear Lake Senators. Oh, no! Huh. Apparently, like, the internet doesn't know. So, I feel like Wayzata's right, though. So I'm going to stick with my gut on that and say it was supposed to be Wayzata in the championship, which was, like, their known rival, I feel. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just making things up, but, you know, I kind of talk a lot, so, you know. But first of all, great high school career, but what a depressing end, because in the documentary she said, like, my goal is to win the championship this year, my senior year, and she said all this stuff, like, right before the game. Go first pick in, go to UConn, commit to UConn, win the state championship win the NCAA championship my senior year at UConn, and get drafted number 1 in the WNBA. And, like, all of those things happened except for the state championship win with Hopkins, which obviously she had won her junior year, which is pretty detrimental stat in her career in of itself. But to win your senior year, like, that would have been epic. And I really think they would have, too. Like, but COVID. So, hashtag shout out COVID. Worst thing ever, literally ruined everything for everyone ever, so awesome. Okay. But notable awards, dude, my jaw was agape when I was writing this down, like, on the floor. This was her senior year of high school. Just her senior year. The Star Tribune Metro Player of the Year 3 times. It was her 3rd time winning that her senior year. Gatorade National Player of the Year, Gatorade Female High School Player of the Year, Naismith Prep Player of the Year, Wooten National Player of the Year, Minnesota Miss Basketball 2020, Hopkins all-time leader in points with 2,877 points, 795 assists, and 574 points. It's 574 steals, bro. I need to get my life together. 5-star recruit named number 1 player in the 2020 class by ESPN. By 8th grade, she had received. This is going more into her offers a little bit. By 8th grade, she had received NCAA D1 offers from the University of Illinois Champaign-Urbana, Minnesota, and Iowa State. No offense to Iowa State, because I know people that go to Iowa State. Shout out Roll Clones. Ew. Ew. I would never say that. Let's go Flames. Anyway, we're not even in the same conference, so why do I care? But why? Imagine if Paige Buckers went and played at Iowa State. I would have been which Iowa State's D1. Like, they're important. Like, they've got some good names, but Paige Buckers was just meant for, like, a greater team. You know, like, she was meant for LSU. She was meant for South Carolina. She was meant for UCLA. Like, those types of programs is what Paige Buckers was meant for. So, sorry Iowa State, but that's how I feel. She received, University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, Minnesota, and Iowa State. In 8th grade, she was receiving D1 NCAA offers. And before she committed to UConn, which I believe was the end of her junior year, she considered Notre Dame, Oregon State, Oregon, which Sabrina Ionescu played for Oregon, UCLA, Minnesota, South Carolina, Maryland, Texas, and Duke. These were all D1 NCAA offers that she had to pick from. She went with UConn. Specifically, she went for UConn because of Gino. I mean, like, it's Gino. Like, if I was in the position that I am in, that she was in, knowing what I know now, I would have played for UConn. or Tennessee. Yes. That's what I would have done. So shout out. If Olivia Shaler was a basketball prodigy, because I basically am, I would have played for Tennessee or UConn, but probably UConn, because UConn's UConn. You know, like, you either hate UConn or you love UConn, and I'm on the side of I love UConn. They have a great women's hockey team. If you haven't paid any attention to any of, who cares about the men's sports? They have a great women's hockey team. So shout out UConn, go Huskies. I watch their women's hockey sometimes because it's fun. But that was just high school that I just talked about for 35 minutes. So let's move on to her incredibly notable college career, because it's literally insane. Oh, before I move on, Paige has been regarded as one of the best players in the Minnesota girls high school basketball history. And this was a quote from columnist Chip Scoggins. A generation of girls, now young women throughout the Twin Cities and greater Minnesota, grew up idolizing Waylon as a basketball star. Bueckers is having the same impact on the new generation of girls. So true. Hashtag speak it from the heart. So Paige's rookie season was insane. And it was during 2020 and 2021, so they were still wearing masks, which is so unfortunate because there's still, like, obviously there's footage of her, like, wearing a mask on the sideline. Like, I just, like, can't believe that happened in real life. And I think I trauma blocked it because sometimes I forget that it happened, but it did. So UConn sports publications described Paige as the program's most hype recruit since Breanna Stewart, which was in 2012. And Breanna Stewart is Breanna Stewart. Like, if you were to ask me best player in the W right now, I'd say Asia Wilson and Breanna Stewart. Because if you, like, talk to other players about playing against Breanna Stewart, they're like, you are always on your toes. Like, there is just no way to know what Miss Girl is going to do. And that's a basketball player with a high IQ. Like, you never gonna know what they're gonna do. And I don't know who said that. But, basketball players with a high IQ are just as scary as basketball players who have good skill but need more direction. Basketball players with high IQ are scary, and that's Breanna Stewart. And she's just, like 6 foot a million. So, terrifying. I got to see her play in for real life, which was fun. The thing about Paige's freshman year is I feel like she was such a leader from the beginning. And, like, there were names in UConn before Paige that were playing with Paige. And she still managed to rise to the top as a freshman. Which, like, how could you not? Because it's Paige. You know, like, she was so well known. Like, you would almost regard her as an influencer in high school that, of course, she was a leader. Like, that's just her playing style, you know? She was unanimously selected as the Big East preseason freshman of the year by the league's coaches. In December 12th of 2020, she made her collegiate debut, and she recorded 17 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 steals, and a 79-23 win over UMass Lowell. On January 21st, she made a three-pointer with 25 seconds left to help defeat their rival, Tennessee, 67-61, despite losing 3 of 14 from the field for a season lower 9 points. R.I.P. She just racked up, like, insane points. I'm trying to think of the game that she, like, scored highest on. Let me find it. She had a 32-point game at one point. Oh, okay. On February 3rd, she posted a season-high 32 points and 7 assists and a 94-62 victory over St. John's of New York. 32 points as a freshman? Holy cannoli. That's a lot of points. Wowza. She became the first player in program history to have a 3 straight 30-point game. There's just like so many stats I'm having to like pick. She was named Big East Player of the Year and unanimous Big East Freshman of the Year, joining Maya Moore as the only players to win both awards in the same season. Wow. Unanimous first team All Big East and Big East All Freshman team selection. Yeah. She was named most outstanding player in the Big East tournament that they won as well. Wow. She made 24 points in her 16th seed high point in the first round of the 2021 NCAA tournament. 24 points, and it was the most scored by a UConn player in their tournament debut. So there's yet another stat, because, you know, she just keeps going. They finished the season with a 28-2 record, and they lost. They got second runner-up? Oh. They were in the Final Four. They lost in the Final Four against Arizona, which sucks. But she won the National Player of the Year award and was eligible for AP Player of the Year, Naismith College Player of the Year, USBWA Women's National Player of the Year, and John Wooden Award, becoming the first freshman to receive any of them. Bueckers was unanimous first-team All-American, earning first-team All-American honors from AP and USBWA, and made the Women's Basketball Coaches Association Coaches All-American team. She was the first freshman to win the Nancy Lieberman Award as the top point guard in the nation. And she also she shared 2 major NCAA Division I Freshman of the Year awards with Caitlin Clark and the Tamika Catchings Award presented by the USBWA and the WBSCA Freshman of the Year Award. Her freshman stats, she averaged 20 points, 5.8 assists, 4.9 rebounds, and 2.3 steals per game, shooting a 46.4% from three-point range. And she recorded 168 assists, which was the most by a freshman in program history, despite her shortened season due to COVID-19. She also won Best Female College Athlete ESPY Award in, I think that was 2021. And she was the, yeah. And I think the biggest part about that award that she won the ESPY, her speech was, like, the best thing, the greatest thing ever. It was great. She, in her speech, credited her win to Black women and said that they don't get enough coverage in the sports world despite being, like, most of the W. And it was just beautiful. It was a beautiful tribute, and I, like, major kudos to her. Her sophomore year, she underwent surgery on her right ankle and could not practice for a majority of the off season. And her sophomore year was the first year playing with Azzy Fudd. So that was cute. Her roommate and her girlfriend, history says they're roommates, you know, history says they're best friends, because in interviews they still say your best friend Azzy Fudd, and I'm like, they're literally married, what are you talking about? But we'll get to that. She made her second season debut on November 14th, recording a season high 34 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. She matched the program record for points in a season opener set by Carrie Bascom in 1989. She had another injury. Her sophomore year, she was out for 8 weeks. Without Paige, which I don't like to say this because Paige Buckers is not UConn. You know, like, there will always be a piece of Paige Buckers in UConn, but she is not UConn itself. Like, there are notable players in every year that she played. But they did like plateau when she was out, and they fell out of the top 10 for the first time since 2005. Yeah. The team's winning streak of 240 games against unranked teams and 169 games against conference opponents ended in losses to Georgia Tech and Villanova, unfortunately. But she came back, so that was cute. They won the Big East tournament, but she only scored 2 points in the championship game against Villanova. But they won the Elite Eight. They went through the Elite Eight. Did they win the Final Four? I think they lost in the Final Four. Yeah. They lost in the Final Four because then she was named Final Four all tournament team. And that year she was named AP All-American Honorable Mention Selection. And that year she averaged 14.6 points and 4 rebounds and 3.9 assists per game. And she was also, I said this earlier, she's an academic. She was named on the university's dean's list while also being an athlete. And that never fails to amaze me. D1 athletes that are also have a good GPA and are very smart. She redshirted because she tore her ACL in her left knee during a preseason game and missed the whole entire season. And that year, it was the first time that UConn did not reach the Final Four since 2008. So that happened. I'm going to kind of skim over the end here because I'm kind of yapping a little too much. But her junior year, I think that was when that was the rise of Caitlin Clark was her junior year. And also the rise of Paige, I feel. Yeah. They lost the championship. Was the Final Four the championship? It was the Final Four. They lost the Final Four her sophomore year to University of Iowa. I think everyone watched that game. And everyone was rooting for University of Iowa, which makes me sad. But they were great. And then they ended up losing. University of Iowa ended up losing to LSU in the championship game, where we got our famous. Everyone started hating Angel Reese for some reason. So that was that timeline, in case you're curious. Her junior year, she was named Big East Scholarship Athlete of the Year. And learned CSC First Team Academic All-American Honors. And she announced that instead of going for the WNBA draft, that she would stay another year since she was credited another year of eligibility because of her year that she redshirted. Which, God bless America, she did that. Because if she wouldn't have gone number 1 in the freaking WNBA draft, I would have been so upset because she deserved that. And I feel that she wouldn't have gone first in the draft against Caitlin Clark for numerous reasons. But I'm not going to discredit Caitlin Clark's playing. So I'm going to be nice and civil. So, yeah. But, the Paige's senior year of UConn, her 5th year, I mean, like, that was when I really, really got into Paige because of everything that happened with University of Iowa and, like, the rise of Caitlin and whatever, you know? And being able to watch her senior year at UConn was, like, quite literally the best thing ever. Especially because, just AZ Fudd had been out, was it Paige's sophomore year? So they didn't get to play then. She redshirted. They played their junior year, but they had the loss to University of Iowa. So that was like, okay, that was an upsetting end. And to be able to have such an epic senior year because they had freaking Sarah Strongadonga. She's so important, Sarah Strong. Like, she was such an asset. What an incredible senior year. They won the championship, obviously. This is kind of funny to me. They opened the 2025 NCAA tournament against Arkansas State in the first round and scored 11 points. She scored 11 points in a 103-34 win. They won against South Dakota State in the Sweet 16. She scored a career-high 40 points in 29 in the second half, might I say. And they won over Oklahoma. She became the fourth UConn player to record at least 40 points in a game, and the first to do so in the NCAA tournament. In the Elite Eight, she posted 31 points against USC and was named the most outstanding player of the Spokane 4 Regional. She tied her own program record with 3 consecutive 30-point games while scoring a total of 105 points, the most by a UConn player over a 3-game span, and won her first national championship, scoring 17 points in an 82-59 win over the top-seeded South Carolina in the title game in April. She surpassed Maya Moore for the most career points by a UConn player in the NCAA tournament and moved to third among all players. She was unanimous first-team All-American for the third time in her career, received the Wade Trophy and the top NCAA Division I player, and won her secondary Nancy Lieberman Award as the top D1 point guard. She finished her career with her highest ever scoring average, which is 19.9, and the third most points in program history, which is 2,439. And she was announced as the winner of the 2025 Honda Sports Award and the finalist of the 2025 NCAA Woman of the Year Award. And then in March, she announced that she would be going into the 2025 WNBA draft, that she had been projected to be the first overall pick by a lot of people. I mean, like, it was just known that Paige was going to be the number 1 pick. You just knew it. We just knew she was going to Dallas. She was first overall pick for Dallas. She made her season debut, scoring 10 points against the Lynx. She became the fastest player in league history to reach 200 points, 50 rebounds, and 50 assists. And she was also selected to play in the All-Star game and became the 8th WNBA rookie to do so, as in not only play in the WNBA All-Star, but also as a starter. She was awarded June Rookie of the Month and July Rookie of the Month. Hi, Kamari Cruz. Come say hi to the pod.
Of course, I'm always in here to say hello.
Say hi.
Hello.
Guess what I'm talking about today?
Paige Buckers?
Paige Buckers.
I knew
That's
it.
the whole episode.
Wait, how beautiful. Okay.
Isn't that so beautiful?
Yes.
Are you going to be in here for a while?
No, I'll be downstairs. I'll probably still be there when your show's over.
Aw. Because I have to edit 2 shows and I don't want to do it alone.
I'm sorry, I have to pack, otherwise I would.
Okay, bye, sweetie. I love you. Anyway, June Rookie of the Month, July Rookie of the Month, and she averaged 18.2 points, 5.2 assists, and 1.2 steals per game. Despite the fact that the Wings lost, like, literally all the time, it's literally okay. She scored in August. She scored 44 points in an 80 loss to the Sparks. And it was the most points by a rookie in the WNBA history and the 10th most points by any player in WNBA history. Yeah. Dude, there's just so much. There is just so much to talk about with her. It's literally ridiculous. For the third consecutive month, Paige was named the WNBA Rookie of the Month for August. So she was June, July, and August. People were getting a little frustrated with that. But it's okay, cause yeah, it's literally okay. She became the Wings franchise rookie scoring leader. Go Queen. Go Boo Boo. Their record was the Dallas Wings record was 10-34, but which made them last in the league. But it's literally okay because everyone has to have a bad rookie season, right? But she was WNBA Rookie of the Year, receiving 70 of 72 votes. I believe Sonia Citron was like the other one that was like, you know, who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get it? And they said Sonia Citron or Paige Buckers, and we were all like, we do love Sonia Citron, love her. but we knew it was going to Paige. It was like Caitlyn, you know, like we all knew it was going to Caitlyn, you know. I believe if Georgia Amore hadn't torn her ACL, she would have been like kind of like playing tough games with her, but man, she's insane, bro. And then she signed a 3-year deal with the 3-on-3 basketball league Unrivaled, which I know I've talked about a few times. The craziest part, and I think I've also spoken on this, is that in Unrivaled, she is literally getting paid. In Unrivaled, she's literally getting paid just as much as 4 years of the WNBA. One year of Unrivaled, or 3 years of Unrivaled. She is in Breeze Basketball Club, which she'll be playing alongside some fun people. I'm very excited for Unrivaled. You will be so sick of me talking about it when it actually starts. As for her history in 3-on-3 basketball, in 2018, she won the gold medal for the United States in 3-on-3 basketball at the Summer Youth Olympics in Buenos Aires, Argentina, helping her team win all 7 of its games. And she was the youngest senior national team at the 2019 World Beach Games in Doha. She's the youngest player. A roster featuring Nafisa Collier and Jackie Young, which is crazy. Yeah. But they lost. The United States lost to Brazil in that. But she still has some gold medals, so. Go Boo Boo Bear. As for, like, some other things I wanted to talk about with Paige, because she just, like, this girl don't quit. She's, like, a hella philanthropist. Philanthropist? Yes. She has multiple foundations. It's called she has one called Paige Buckets Foundation, which is aimed at promoting social justice and creating opportunities for families and children. And she became the first student-athlete ambassador for Chegg, with the non-profit branch, and she partnered with hunger relief company Gooder to host a free pop-up grocery store market in Minneapolis to address food insecurity among college students. And then she opened another store in Hopkins West Junior High School, where she went to middle school. But she's just such a good, like, overall such a good person, which is so cool considering she's also an insane athlete and just so sexy. Imagine, like, being all of those things, you know, like, all of those things in a bag of chips, because she's, like, also a good person, which is so insane. I just can't believe her. She's so unreal. But, yeah, I think I'm going to do an episode on Izzy Fudd. I probably won't do it next week because I just talked about Paige, but any advice on what you guys actually won't be able to hear this by the time I need to figure out what I'm doing next week, but if anyone has any advice on what I should do next week, that'd be awesome, because I don't want to talk about Easy Food right after I talk about Paige, but I might just do that. Because, like, this is my show, you know? Like, who's going to stop me? No one's going to fight me on that. But yeah, Paige Buckets is just so sick. I could literally talk about her 24/7 every day of every week because she's so cool. Her style, her personality, and I'm sure she has her flaws because she's insane. So she probably has, like, an insane ego. But they say don't meet your heroes. So I wouldn't meet her anyway. But basically, Femme Forward forecast. Next week I literally don't know what I'm doing. Now that I'm thinking about it, probably AZ Food. Maybe I might do maybe some of the older generation UConn players. Diana Taurasi. I talked about a few times today. Brianna Stewart, Maya Moore. You know, who am I forgetting? Sue Bird. I could talk about Sue Bird. I could just talk about UConn if I really wanted to, but we'll see. I need to talk about some hockey. It's been a hot minute. But yeah, that's basically it for today. Anyway, stay sweaty, stay sapphic, and stay batty on and off the field. I'll catch you next week. Same time, same mic, same energy. Bye.